Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy end of September. We made it. We made it. We just have a couple of days left that we got to get through. Um, Come on in the room, say hello, introduce yourself as you get settled in. My name is Soleil. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. I am the Coven Mother of Vision of Dawn Tour. I am the founder and the facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program. I am your weekly reader, and I am a dope bitch straight up out of Oakland. So hello, hello, hello. Come on in the room, say hello. Hit the scale emojis. For those of you who are new here, the scales mean a tremendous amount to me spiritually. So hitting the scales just lets me know that you are in alignment with me, that you're ready to dig into the reading, and that you support what I'm doing energetically. Come on in the room, get settled. We will start in just a moment. Hello, Aja. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Labalyn. Hello, Adelaida. Hello, Martise. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. If I didn't say hello, it just means that I didn't see your name yet. But thank you. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday. I love this mix, but I'm going to go ahead and pause it so that way I can focus. Where's my light? I do this every time. I'm going to take myself off camera because I don't want to continually dig through my bra, but I have to find my lighter because I want to light. I'm back. So we will get started in just a moment. If this is your first time here, or just a refresher for other people who may not have been here for a while, the weekly energy reading is a weekly overview of what lies ahead of us energetically for the week. So we'll start with a general reading. I'll then read on love and romance, finances, and our health and wellness in no particular order. If you are here because you saw me post in a group or in another space that I'm doing readings from the audience, I absolutely am. I always do. But that happens after I'm done with the overall general collective reading. So my request of everyone is that you wait patiently. Let me get through the general collective reading first, and then I'm more than happy to take questions from other people after that. These questions, unlike my happy hour readings, are absolutely free. Love offerings are deeply appreciated. Energetic exchange is real. The less greedy you are with spirit, the more generosity you get in the world. So if you have capacity to send a love offering, those are always deeply appreciated, but they are not required. So if you came with a question, don't feel like if you don't have money, I won't answer your question. But again, I'm going to take questions after we're done with the general reading, okay? I want to thank everybody who joined me for Friday's happy hour. I don't typically do readings on Fridays just because I'm always concerned with people got lives. And by the time we get to Friday, folks are tired. They want to go out and drink. They want to sit up under their boo. So I never know if people are going to tune into lives on Friday. But we had a really good turnout. And so I'm deeply grateful for everybody that attended. Many of you have contacted me since Friday's reading conversation and said that you took the wisdom around sensuality and erotic healing to heart, and that you made moves based on that. And I want to say congratulations to you for doing that. And I can't wait to hear more stories about it. But now we're going to focus on we're going to focus for now on this collective reading. And again, once we get to the end, if people have questions, I'm happy to take them. Thank you so much, Kodan. Don't forget to like the video as you come into the room. Absolutely. Help me make my way up the algorithm. I am trying to grow my channel. I'm more than deeply happy and grateful for all 400 plus of my subscribers. But I really do want to grow our little family here. So continue to like, share the readings, share the links with people that you know who may be interested in this content. Subscribe if you are not already subscribed. If you come in every week and you ain't subscribed, that's crazy. So just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, okay? We had really good experiences of the True Heart deck on Friday, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to let Afro Anime get a little bit of rest today, although I may use it as a clarifier. But let's just go ahead and get straight into it and see what is in store for us as we enter into this new week of September 29th through October 5th, okay? Yes, elevated ancestors, what wisdom do we as a collective need about the coming week? Please give us insight into the nature of any experiences, lessons, blessings, challenges, breakthroughs that we will encounter between September 29th through October 5th. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments in order to be able to conquer the energies coming to us over the next 7 days, to be able to handle experiences with grace, to be able to take the wisdom that's coming to us without judgment. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, Sanidra. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, Lovana. Hello, Kodan. All right. You guys know I use my decks a lot, so they're all bent. So just give me a second. It takes me a minute. Okay. Even though the eclipse was on the 21st, some of us are still dealing with revelation and energy shifts post-eclipse. And this is a really important week in terms of a lot of us realizing just how much some of our vices, some of the things that tempt us, are postponing a transformation in our lives, right? And hold on a second. Clarify the Five of Pentacles. What do we need to know about the Five of Pentacles? Any wisdom about the Five of Pentacles? Any clarifications around the Five of Pentacles is deeply appreciated. Mm-hmm. Love it. I knew it. Okay. Manage your vices this week. Because on the other side of those vices is not only clarity and breakthrough, not only is there transformation, but for some of us, the numbing we use the vices for is to, it's not just numbing traumas or negative experiences, it's numbing the reality of the people you share space with, right? For example, there may be some of you guys who have friends that you absolutely cannot fucking stand, but because you guys go shopping together or because you guys go out to drinks together, or they may be one of your few friends that you smoke weed with, you know what the vices are, right? You're willing to make exception. And it's in the sobriety, it's in the clarity, absence, sans the vices, that you're able to fully see how you are giving way too much to a connection that is not really helping you. It's actually draining you. It's draining your confidence. It's also draining your money in ways that you aren't fully conscious of, right? Very first card comes up, Devil card. We know the devil. We know that this is about temptation. We know that this is about the things we cling to, that are not in our best interest, that we blame on the devil, we blame on evil forces, we blame on things outside of us, right? But they are the vices, the temptations, the things we need to conquer in order to have further control over our lives. There are some things that you guys are letting have control over you, and you probably don't even see it that way, right? You may be thinking, well, I'm only drinking on the weekends. It's not that big of a deal. Well, if you're drinking and it's a waste of money and a drain on your energy, it's still a vice, right? So be mindful this week on the things that you lean on, especially if they're things that you lean on that are pulling you further and further away from not only your personal power and control, but just overall general clarity, right? I've been saying for a while that some of you all need to take a fast, right? And when we hear fast, we automatically think of like not eating for 3 to 7 days. But it may be a social media fast. It may be, 21 days without alcohol. Some of you guys know that even though I love weed and I smoke weed regularly, I've gone almost 2 months without it just because that's what my soul needs right now, right? So being really clear on the things that have control over you so that you can release them is extremely important. And the reason why it's important is because there are some of you who are watching this either live or in the replay who are far overdue for a rebirth, a transformation, right? This death card energy is very, very potent and it's very, very powerful. We are in Mars and Scorpio. I'm not going to rehash that. If you guys want a breakdown of Mars and Scorpio and how it shows up for us, definitely go back and watch Friday's happy hour reading, right? But many of us are overdue for a rebirth, right? There are things that we need to let die and let go of so that we can embrace new understandings of ourselves, welcome in a new version of ourselves. We low-key can't take these vices or the relationship we have with these vices into this next or new chapter. So taking this time to really understand, why do these things have control over you, right? What is the thing that's being numbed? What is the nostalgia tied to it? I know I talk a lot about Six of Cups with nostalgia, but the Moon card is a card of nostalgia too, right? Cancerian energy can be very, very nostalgic. It can be very sentimental, right? And a lot of people, especially those who have shopping addictions, the reason why they have shopping addictions is because that's how they bonded, right, with certain people in their community, particularly certain women around them, right? So if you know that there's something, overeating, a lot of people will overeat, especially during the fall and winter months because of the celebratory aspect. If you miss your family, if you have certain relatives that you associate with the holidays and they're gone, it's really easy to gorge on certain things, right? So again, going back to that devil card and linking it to the moon card, this is a week that really calls you to do that shadow work and that investigation of why it is you lean on certain vices so heavy, because getting to that answer and making sure that that nostalgic tie no longer has a hold on you is what's going to allow you the further rebirth, right? It's what's going to allow you the transformation. And this is coming up in a timely manner because there are things that some of us have been striving for a while, and we've been feeling like, things are not in our favor and that things have been working against us. But a lot of times, especially if you are aligned, and here's the thing, spirituality and alignment is not about getting what you want all the time. Sometimes your spirits will withhold things from you because respectfully, they know you too fucking stupid or that you're too unprepared to do right by the blessings that you're calling in, right? And so again, this conversation around vices, the nostalgic pull on them, the shadows that you're not addressing that cause you to lean into the vices, all of these things are coming up right now because the wheel is about to turn in your favor. And the last thing that your spirits want is for you to get these blessings in that divine timing, right? Somebody's about to rain gifts into your life, right? Six of Pentacles, you're about to receive overflow. Somebody's going to bless you. Somebody believes in your dream. Somebody really wants to see you move forward. Somebody who's already walked that path is going to help you have a come up, right? That's going to bring you closer to your dream. And the last thing your spirits want to see happen is some undealt with shadow or some unaddressed addiction get in the way of you being able to handle this blessing and that overflow responsibly. Now, at the start of the reading, I talked about some of us leaning into vices because that's where our social world is, right? We may be going out and spending way too much on food with other people because that's how they hang out and that's how they bond. We may be going out and drinking with people even though we know we shouldn't be drinking because the people we spend the most time around with, or the people, I'm going to use the language Spirit is giving me, the people that serve us in terms of distracting us. Those are the things that they like to do most, right? What do I always say about the Five of Pentacles? It's poverty mentality, yes, but it's also a poverty environment, right? This is a non-traditional deck, but in traditional Rider-Waite interpretations of the Five of Pentacles, you see two people in the snow. Both of them look broken down and worn for wear, right? And they're going on a path that's derailing them, taking them away from refuge and support, right? There's sanctuary right next to them. There's a church right next to them. Bright lights. We know that there's help inside. But because these people have not only committed to one another, we automatically think that loyalty is always a good thing. Sometimes people can be loyal to the most unevolved versions of you, right? So Five of Pentacles comes up, yes, ask us to think about reevaluating our mentality and the ways in which our mentality may be bringing us poverty, but it's also to reevaluate how your social circle, right, is making you loyal to poverty, making you loyal to deficit, making you loyal to difficult circumstances, right? And Five of Pentacles is one of my cards, y'all. If y'all have been watching me for a while, you know that there's about 6 or 7 cards where if I get them, regardless of whatever else is going on in the reading, I'm going to pull clarifiers. And Five of Pentacles is one of those for me. And over the Five of Pentacles, we got the Two of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Realistically, these people that you have these Five of Pentacles connections with, the ones that are always bringing you back to your vices, these relationships are not reciprocal, right? And part of what the spirits around you and what you've been praying for and what the answered prayer that's coming is reciprocal relationships coming into your life, whether those are romantic relationships, whether those are friendships, whether it is business partnerships that are not just going to drain and take from you, but are going to pour into you as equally as you pour into them, right? In order for you to get this blessing, you have to, and we talked about her a lot last week, right? You have to be in your Queen of Wands energy. You have to move from self-worthiness. You have to have the belief that you are deserving of the things you want. Again, some of you guys are hanging out and around people out of habit. And these are people that low-key pull and drain your sense of worthiness. You won't be able to fully see that clearly until you can conquer your relationship with your vices. Because you may be sitting there thinking, oh yeah, this girl's draining as fuck, and she gonna spend the whole 3 hours we're out complaining about her ex, but at least I get out of the house, and at least I get to go to my favorite bar, right? You may be thinking, oh, I love my auntie, and I know she's gonna talk shit about me, and she's gonna pick at my natural hair, or I'm making shit up, right? She's gonna pick at my appearance, but I really want to go shopping at the outlets anyway. Why are the vices so strong in terms of their influence in your life that you are willing to be around people that not only drain you, but put you in a poverty or a deficit mindset? What is the unaddressed shadow that makes you feel like you have to accept crumbs when it comes from your personal environment and the people you share space with? And what are the things that are numbing you into believing that that's okay? And why do these things have a pull and a hold over you? If you can let go of that, not only will it help you attract relationships that are much more aligned, but it's going to tap you further into your sense of emotional worthiness and self-worth so that you don't continue this pattern of being in environments where it's not for your best interest, right? So that is the general reading. Where should I go next? Should I go into love? Should I go into money or health and wellness? We can go into love next since we talked about sensuality and erotic power so much on Friday. I'll go into love next. And my true heart is typically my love deck anyway. So, hey, Nero, good to see you. Hey, Ami ASMR. Hello, Bertal. Hello, Tori. Thank you so much for joining. Ami said, I just logged on and I'm already being called out. I think a lot of us can identify with that message. It's totally okay. A lot of us can identify. Because I wasn't going to, so just so that you don't feel alone, I too feel called out by that message. I absolutely feel called out by that message. So I think you're not alone. Again, it's a collective reading. So anybody who's watching right now or in the replay is going to be able to identify with that, okay? Let's go into love next, because that just feels right. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits who walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need in regards to love, romance, community, matters of the heart as we enter the week of September 29th through October 5th? Someone write down October 25th. One of my students recently pointed out to me that when I am about to accidentally say a date, that date typically has some sort of significance to it. So write down October 25th, because I almost said 25th instead of the 5th. And I'm going to write it down after this reading as well. Give us wisdom and insight into the lessons, blessings, breakthroughs, challenges, wisdom we will gain as it relates to love and romance over the next 7 days. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment that will allow us to move with love, to be experienced by those we love and have the experiences of love we want to have over the next 7 days. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Lover's card fell out. I'm going to talk about it after I go through the spread as well, but I just want to say a few words about it because the Lover's card is very much a card of, it's Gemini energy. It's the twins, right? But it's about being your own twin, being your own twin flame. It's a card of personal alignment, understanding that your personal alignment attracts the kind of love you bring into your life. It's also a card of understanding that your lover is supposed to understand that their actions and how they show up in the world, how they navigate things, has consequences over your life, right? Good partnerships are ones where people understand how their actions, they understand mutual consequence. They understand that if I'm in this partnership, it's not just about me, it's about how my actions have impact over this other person, right? So it'll be interesting to see how the message of the lovers, that Gemini energy, shows up in the rest of the reading. Take your time. For some of you all, there's someone new who has entered your life, and it's either somebody who has an interest in you or that you are interested in, okay? Knight of Pentacles. Everybody says this is a boring card, but it's becoming one of my favorites. It's observation energy. This is somebody who's really paying attention to you, observing you. In debilitation, that can feel very stalkery, but this is somebody who they're observing you before they make their move, right? And they're doing it for a variety of reasons. Knight of Pentacles energy is very risk averse. And what I mean by that is that it's not that they're not going to take risks. Their risks are calculated, right? So yeah, they're attracted to you. Yeah, they're interested in you, but they want to make sure that they come at you correct. Okay. Um, Now this can be you that I'm speaking to, or this can be someone in your life. Either way, y'all are checking folks out, or folks are being checked out. And these are people that want to make sure that they have their shit in order, not only in terms of what they present to you, because Knight of Pentacles is about the presentation of resources, but it's also about making sure that they're in alignment with the energy they bring to you. Pay close attention to what your spirits have to say about this person. Whether it's you observing someone or you are being observed, your spirits are going to give you wisdom around this person, whether or not they are who they present themselves to be, whether or not this, again, the Judgment card is about spirits coming in alignment to let you know whether or not you should move forward on something, right? That's what it is at its root. I know it's a complicated card in terms of its artwork and all this, and when you read tarot books, it confuses the hell out of you, but at the root, the Judgment card is about the spirits coming together and letting you know whether or not you should or should not move forward on something. So again, if part of the reason why you're doing this observation of this person that you're attracted to, pay close attention to what your spirits are saying. They're going to let you know, right? Now, again, a debilitation of the Knight of Pentacles is that they can sometimes have choice paralysis. They can get so wrapped up in the observation that they never step forward and make their move. What do we know about her? What do we know about the Strength card? It's not about the absence of fear. It's being afraid and doing it anyway. Some of you guys have been out of relationship for so long that you're comfortable with being single. Some of you all are so used to being pursued that the idea of pursuing somebody scares the literal shit out of you, right? Whatever the fear that's coming up as it relates to love and romance this week, you're going to have to put on your big person draws and move differently in order to get what you want, right? Don't stay stuck in observation for so long. Like you're waiting for some, you already know that you're attracted to this person, right? You already know it. So at some point you are going to have to do something about it. And here's the thing, Strength card is about approaching something. It's not brute force. It's not being strong in the ways that other people are. It's a card of authenticity at the end of the day. So yeah, you may have to be the one to make the first move and you're not used to that, but you don't have to do it in a way that's not authentic to you. It can be as simple as, hey, there's somebody who's, reading excerpts from their book at this book club I love, or this bookstore I love. Do you want to go with me, right? Do it in a way that feels authentic to you, but you are going to have to take a risk and you are going to have to step forward in courage in order to conquer this lion or conquer this person, this thing that you want to have in your life, right? In terms of observation, one of the things that's coming up that your spirits are going to give you wisdom around, and they're making it very, very clear because we have two cards that are about generosity here, and I'm going to talk about both of them in a moment. But I want to start with the first one, Six of Pentacles. So again, we're only on the second reading. This is the second time Six of Pentacles has come up. Pay attention to generosity in all of its forms with people in your life this week. Who is willing to be generous with you and who is here just to take? Or a debilitation of Six of Pentacles. Who is giving to you with strings attached, right? This is something you want, and this is under that Knight of Pentacles. So as you are observing this person that you are attracted to, or know that the person who is observing you that is attracted to you, they're paying attention to how you give. And your generosity is probably one of the main things that they are attracted by, right? We get so wrapped up in this culture around whether or not people have money, how much money they have. I'm going to tell you from experience, from the hell that is dating in Atlanta. You can date somebody that has a lot of money and they're a stingy fucking person. And there is nothing worse than being with somebody who has it and won't share it, but expects you to give and give and give. Okay? So your relationship to generosity is going to have a direct impact on your experiences of love and romance this week. Whether it's you being rewarded with new attractions because you are a generous and loving, giving person, or whether it's because you are observing somebody that you are attracted to and your spirits want you to pay attention to how that person gives, okay? And the reason why that's important, again, Two of Cups. Two cards that we've already talked about, right? Two of Cups, reciprocity. Okay, yeah, this person is attractive. Yeah, they speak nicely, but are they going to pour into you equally when you get into relationship with them? Is this somebody that's going to make your load lighter, right? Relationships are not easy, right? They have their own set of difficulty. But if you know that it's somebody from back who is not going to pour into you in a way that's equal, that is a different form of difficulty, right? And we want aligned care. We want people that are going to pour into us as much as we pour into them. That's what helps with growth. Are they watering you as much as you water them? Pay attention to those things. That's really important, right? Now, here's the thing. Some of you guys have been doing your love work. Good job. If you've been doing your love work, good job. Others of you, this is a message to start doing your love work. And when I say do your love work, I don't mean spell work. I don't mean go find a random nigga in your building and start working them. The magician is somebody who has all the tools at their disposal to attract and call in the things they want for themselves. That's how their alchemy works, right? When I talk about this love work, some of you guys have been calling in a certain type of partner. And again, this Knight of Pentacles person that has their eyes on you may be that. Some of you guys have been fearful and too scared to speak to your spirits and talk about what you want and sit at your altar in meditation, right? If you have been too afraid to do that, let that fear go. Again, this is under the strength card, right? Let that fear go and do it anyway. Because here's the thing. Somebody's coming. That sounds way more ominous than I But somebody is here and somebody is attracted to you. So go ahead and do the things you need to do to make sure that this is an aligned love, that this is going to be a romance that moves you forward and not just something that comes along and wastes your time, right? Or again, going back to that Six of Pentacles, that reversal energy is somebody who, yeah, they may give to you, but they're going to hold that shit over your head, right? Or they may just take from you, because that's another debilitation of Six of Pentacles. It's you thinking that somebody's pouring into you, but it's only to take from you at the end of the day, right? All of this makes a ton of sense now that the Lover's card fell out as I was shuffling. Because again, Lover's card is about aligned love, somebody who understands that their actions have consequence over you, right? Somebody that and this is why they're naked in the Lover's card, right? Somebody that you can be vulnerable with. Can you be vulnerable with this person? Can you tell them honestly, these are my expectations and my desire for a romantic relationship without them shaming you, without them belittling you, without them trying to neg you into thinking that you're asking for too much? These are all things that are extremely important. But again, they're also things that you're not going to be able to call in if you yourself are not aligned with that energy. Okay? So that is the love reading. As you are talking, I hear the song Understanding by Escape. Yeah, so that's one of the mistakes that I love that song. I'm a huge Escape fan. I don't know how many people know that. I love Escape. I love Escape tremendously. I know she does not have the best vocals on the planet, but I'm also just a Candy Burris fan because I love her as a songwriter. You shouldn't have to ask for understanding in a relationship. And I know that's a controversial take, but yes, there will be times where you guys miscommunicate and misunderstand each other. But begging for somebody to listen to you and try to understand you, that's a no-go. And I believe in that in any relationship. Once I get to the point with somebody where I'm literally begging them to not purposely misunderstand me or to not talk over me or to convince me that I'm doing too much by wanting to be heard, that's when the vibe is off. But I do love that song, absolutely. Let's get into money next. That feels right. Feels right to get into money next, and then we'll wrap up with the health reading. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me. My elevated ancestors, what wisdom do we as a collective need about our relationship with money as we enter the week of September 29th through October 5th? Please give us wisdom and insight into any lessons, blessings, breakthroughs, challenges that may be coming our way as it relates to abundance and prosperity in our lives. Is there anything, a lot is falling out, is there anything we need to know about or change as it relates to our relationship or our perception of money? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment that will allow us to have a prosperous relationship with money, that will allow us to call in more than we are releasing or letting out? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. So Ami MSR, you know how you, hey Samar, you know how you said you felt called out as soon as you logged in? I haven't even pulled the spread and I feel called out. And so I feel called out just by the cards that fell to the side. Let's pull the spread first, and then I'll address the cards that fell out after we've gone through the finance spread, okay? Money feels lighter. I love that. I love that. And that's been something that I've been working on as a person this year, is to lighten the way that I feel about money. As a Taurus, the second that my money is not where I want it to be, I turn into a raging bitch. Like I am not a fun energy to be around when I don't like where my bank account is. And I've been actively making sure that I change that, because money is an energy, money is a flow. You unfortunately, especially as an entrepreneur, you may not always have control over what that looks like. And putting yourself in a position where you walk around fucking angry about it doesn't help anybody. It damn sure doesn't help you, right? And it makes the money harder to find you, because money doesn't like resentment. It doesn't like anger. It doesn't like worrying, like all the broke bitch shit. Like we think about it, money doesn't like that, right? There is one card I want to pull a clarifier over. Clarify the Four of Pentacles. What do we need to know about the Four of Pentacles? And the wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I like that. All right. Okay. This is a really good reading. Even though the cards that fell out felt mean, just because I felt called out. But here's the thing. So I appreciate what I was saying about and being vulnerable with you guys about me changing my own relationship with money, because I think that's a message that a lot of us can benefit from. And that's why the Chariot is the first card here, right? Because Chariot is about the will to succeed. It's about being driven and being so driven and committed to the goals you have for yourself and the perception of your life that you have for yourself, that it doesn't matter what the material circumstances are around you. It doesn't matter what direction life is pulling you in, right? That's why the two sphinxes are going in different directions. Sometimes life may be doing that to you, but you still have to be so dedicated to what you want for yourself that you're going to go after it anyway. And I love this being the card that starts off the finance reading, because, and I was having this conversation with a client earlier this week, for a lot of us, there are things that we want to do, but because the money may not be where we want it to be, or things don't look perfect, we want to sit around and wait for perfect. But the Chariot is like, nah, fuck perfect. I want to get to my destination, right? Chariot doesn't wake up thinking, will I be okay? They don't worry about that. For them, it's not about will I succeed? It's, okay, how do I get closer to my success? What is the thing I need to do to drive me closer to my target? And that's how we have to move. Intuitively, this is the week where we have the breakthrough and the realization of that for a lot of us. But I feel like for the remainder of the year, Chariot energy is going to be a necessity for a lot of us, right? Two of Pentacles, again, the money may not be where you want it to be, but you can manage. The tightrope may be uncomfortable, but you're still good, right? Also, there are multiple streams of income, and some of you guys feel burdened by the multiple streams instead of feeling enlivened by them. And that's why the Two of Pentacles is here. Try your best to be in a spirit of gratitude instead of being upset about the fact that you're having to pull from multiple places. Because guess what? With this economy where we are right now, a lot of people don't have multiple places to pull from. So yeah, it may suck and may feel annoying, but be grateful. Be grateful. Some people don't even have the capability to get up there to where the tightrope is, right? And the gratitude is what's going to help you navigate Two of Pentacles, because Two of Pentacles energy ain't no hoe. It's exhausting. Let's be real. Feeling like you are on a tightrope is exhausting. Managing multiple streams sounds like a flex because we talk about it that way in this culture, but it can be exhausting, right? But if you can have the focus and the gratitude to get through this period, you don't have to stay on the tightrope forever, right? Be grateful for your flexibility. Be grateful for these things, right? And Spirit is going to give you wisdom about what's going to take you out of the tightrope soon anyway. So again, once you start to, I love that both of these cards, even though they're very different in energy, are talking about the alternative to how you need to engage with your worry. A lot of us who are watching this either live or in the replay have a lot of unnecessary worry about money, and that worry is turning into blockages, right? The Chariot is saying, okay, you may not have it at this moment, but you still got to go towards your goals. Two of Pentacles is saying, okay, things may be tight, but be grateful that you even have the tightness, because some people can't even get to the tightrope, right? The Judgment card is coming along to say, we're about to give you some answers. A lot of what you've meditated over, a lot of what you prayed about, we're about to make it clear for you. So that's another thing. Don't lose faith right now, because you need to be in prayer. You need to be in meditation. You need to be paying attention to the signs, because that's where the information is going to come so that you can even get off this tightrope, right? So make sure that if you feel worry coming up, if you feel ingratitude coming up, instead of resting and sitting in it, take time to pray. Take time to pray. Understand that delay is not a no. And the more that you pray and you talk to your spirits, the easier it's going to be for you to even understand the direction and the wisdom that they're giving you, right? Now, here's the thing. Another part of the reason why a lot of us are dealing with ingratitude is because we're fucking tired. We are tired. We're tired of working over hours. We're tired of, moving things from different accounts to cover shit. We're tired. And there's a wounded warrior energy, right? So this is under that Chariot. I'm in no way trying to minimize what people are feeling or dealing with over optimism, right? Or just blind. I'm not on some love and light shit. Y'all know I'm not a love and light girly, okay? So I want to name the Nine of Wands is here because a lot of us are in our wounded warrior energy. We're tired. And yeah, we're resilient. Yeah, we figure things out in the ninth hour, but we're fucking tired of being in the ninth hour all the time, right? Even the Nine of Wands is a card that's telling you that rest is coming. So don't be so frustrated that you give up right now. It's tempting because we're fucking tired, but now's not the time to give up, right? Another problem that people are having is that and I've talked about this before in other prosperity readings, y'all keep trying to do shit by yourself, right? And a lot of the reason why you want to do things by yourself, or you want to be in isolation, or you want to stay in the house, is because you've had bad experiences of working with other people. So if you tell yourself, I'm a strong, independent man or woman, and I don't need no help, then that puts you in isolation, right? Some of you guys don't want to go outside, or you don't want to leave the house because, with this economy, it feels like if you go outside, you spend $100 just by walking out your door, right? The thing about Four of Pentacles is that, yes, it's wise to save. Yes, it's important to be deliberate and good with your money. But sometimes you can be so tight with how you hold on to your coins that you miss out on the opportunity to explore the world, or to advance, or to do the things with your money that money is supposed to be, we're supposed to be doing with it. We're supposed to be investing in ourselves. We're supposed to be traveling. We're supposed to be pouring resources into our business, right? And I absolutely love this representation of the Four of Pentacles, because you see this person in a tent looking over their coins, right? They're literally looking over their pentacles, reading their pentacles, evaluating their pentacles, and they're hiding in this tent. But what's at the back? What's behind their tent? What's right on the other side of the mountain? Butterfly, transformation, right? It's a really important time for you to ask yourself, am I saving or am I hoarding my money? And am I hoarding it out of fear of not having enough? And is that fear of not having enough creating further restriction in my life? Because I'm not investing, right? I'm not buying new outfits for my job interviews. I'm not paying for, the new website that I want. I haven't bought, my new, what are you doing thinking that you're saving, but it's actually repressing and restricting, and that's actually causing further deficit in your finances, right? Some of you guys need to just go ahead and hire a headhunter. You've been wanting to leave your job for a while. You've been applying this shit online and it's not working out. Okay, hire a headhunter. Most of them are not going to charge you until you get the new job anyway. But you don't want to do it because you don't want the extra expense. Sometimes the lack of willingness to pay for the extra expense is what's keeping us broke. That's my point with the Four of Pentacles. So again, take time to be in observation. Sit in your discomfort. We don't like the hangman energy a lot because we don't want to be in suspension. But that suspension gives us an opportunity to see the broader picture, to see things from angles that we haven't thought about, right? You may not be thinking about the ways in which you hoarding your money is keeping you broke. And you're going to have an experience this week where through this hangman energy, there's a paradigm shift that allows you to see certain habits you have that are keeping you victimized around your finances, that are keeping you restricted around your finances. And here's the thing, be grateful for that breakthrough, because King of Pentacles, the wisdom and the knowledge you get from that experience helps you in terms of being able to figure out how to build your wealth, how to go forward, and to create stability for yourself so that you don't have to worry about money anymore in the future. Scared money don't make money. That is one of my favorite songs on the planet. And if you guys have ever done any prosperity rituals with me, you guys have probably heard me play that song. It's a song by Anderson .Paak. It's called Scared Money. Scared money don't make none. We end with the Three of Pentacles, right? And I love this for us. And I love this coming right after the Four of Pentacles. Again, isolation. If you find yourself in the same financial position, it's because you're not talking to the right people. So connect with people who move the way you want to, who are in fields that you are in, who have shared interests. Because not only do they have wisdom to give you around what has worked for them, they're the ones that are going to put you in on game. They're going to put you in contact with other people that help you, right? I love the traditional representation of the Three of Pentacles. When I first started reading tarot, I was like, what the fuck is this? Are these people getting married? No, that's not what it is, right? It's an artist and a merchant sorry, it's what is it? A socialite and a merchant that are standing in front of an artist and they're negotiating. That's Three of Pentacles energy. Put yourself in communities with people who may not do exactly what you do, but benefit from what you do, because they will help you in terms of the creation of opportunity, right? Three of Pentacles is getting money with your friends. And a lot of your friends may not do the exact same thing as you, but because they have shared interest and they also have shared community, they're going to put you up on game and you can do the same for them, right? A huge part of what keeps my business running is good word of mouth. I talk about that all the time. I come on here and do the lives because it helps me in terms of advertising my classes and things. But respectfully, most of the people who fucking watch my videos don't book with me. You know what I mean? My business runs from word of mouth. It's me having good relationships with clients and them introducing me to their friends, their sisters, their moms, their family, their community, right? And then from there, I'm able to put them in contact with other people. There are things that I don't know how to do. I'm not a Reiki healer. So then I can put them in contact with the Reiki healers that I know. I'm trying to think of there's a lot of shit that I don't know how to do. But because I have good community, I can refer out and other people refer me out. That's what I mean by good word of mouth. Again, some of you guys are not seeing what you want to happen with your finances because you're trying to work in isolation. And instead of sticking in isolation because you've had bad experiences with community before, find a new community. Find a like-minded community. Find a community of people that understand. How do I say this? I had certain experiences last year that made it very, very clear to me that I can no longer and will never, ever work with people who have a win-lose mentality. I only work with people who have a win-win mentality. People who have a win-lose mentality will find a way to throw you under the bus because they feel like if they have to sacrifice you for $5, it's justified. People who have a win-win mentality understand like, hey, this may not be my opportunity in the moment, but that's my girl and I know she got me for the next one and I know she's going to say good things about me to other people so that my blessings are coming in the future. Three of Pentacles is a card of win-win mentality. So rather than letting your experiences of being burned in the past force you into isolation that is keeping you broke, find like-minded people who are going to speak positively about you in rooms where you are not present. Because that shit matters. It's not what people say when they're in your face. It's how they talk about you when they're at tables that you haven't learned about yet. Okay? Anytime anyone asks about a good reader, I send them to your web. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I want to talk about the cards that shamed me, but that fell out earlier because I think they're important. King of Wands. King of Wands, the king of confidence, of self-belief, someone who's deeply driven, somebody who is so passionate about their vision that they're always talking about it and they're always enrolling other people in their vision. Somebody who is not, and so I always say that the King of Pentacles is the only self-made king. I realized recently that that was an accidental lie. King of Wands is also self-made, right? And they've had certain bumps and bruises, but they've recovered from that. And even with those bumps and bruises or the bumps in the road, they still have such a deep confidence in what they're going after, right? That's why they're so successful. That's why they're the politician, the actor. They have a deep sense of self-belief, and they are good at bringing other people into that belief around themselves, right? And then we have the Two of Swords. Some of us have not been moving forward on things that we know we need to do because we are afraid. And so there's a waffling back and forth, which is what the Two of Swords is about. There's a should I or shouldn't I energy that we're really, really stuck in. This combination of cards is telling us to shit or get off the pot. Shit or get off the pot. Either go after the thing that you know is aligned with your passion and speak confidently about it with your full chest, trusting and believing that you, in your confidence, will be able to find the people who want to support your passion. Or leave that shit alone and shut up about it. But you can't keep waffling back and forth. It's not helping you, right? So that is the money reading for the week. I didn't expect to spend that long on the money reading, but it was good information, and I hope that it was helpful to those of you who stuck around and listened. Let's wrap up with our health and wellness now, okay? I listened to your advice, do it scared, and went to a networking event that was so rewarding. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Sylvia. It's so important to, again, like I have my website, I have my social media, and I mostly do that, again, so that people know that I'm not dead. and that people know that I'm still working and present, right? But again, touching people in real life, talking to people in real life, networking in real life will always be a tremendous help and probably your primary way of making progress, because people may forget the meme you posted. They may forget the post you've written, but people don't forget how you made them feel face to face. That lasts with folks forever. That's why I love when I do my in-person healing sessions in the summer, because it's a different thing, not only for the clients that book them to meet me, but for me to meet y'all, right? If I've met you, and then when you turn around a few months later and ask me to do a reading for you or ask me to do a working for you, that energy and that ashe is going to be so much stronger because we've spent time together physically, right? So I love that. I love that you went to the networking event. I love that it was rewarding. I can't wait to hear more about what rough fruit bears from that opportunity or from the seeds you planted there. This is Spindrift sparkling water. I didn't know it was in color when I bought it, but it's quite delicious and it's helping me kick my soda cravings. It's still unsweetened. I'm realizing that a huge part of the reason why I enjoy soda is because I like carbonation. That has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. I just felt like volunteering that information to y'all. All right, let's get into this health and wellness reading, and then I can take questions from the audience, okay? Oh, Denisha said that this reading is getting them ready for the weekend, that they feel optimistic. I love hearing that. That makes me so happy. Thank you. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits who walk with me. Elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about our health and wellness as we go into the week of September 29th through October 5th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about our actions, our habits, our environment that's impacting our mental, physical, and spiritual health? Please highlight any habits, environments, ways of being, ways of speaking that we need to release, increase, let go of, or reevaluate. Give us the wisdom that will help us have alignment with our mind, body, and spirit this week. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I saw lemons and honey when I had my eyes closed. We'll see if that has any significance with the actual spread. There may be some of you who may be getting sick, so it may be a good idea for you to drink some water with hot water with lemon and honey. There just may be some of you guys that need to have more lemon and honey in your diet. Both of them have really, really good properties in terms of healing. Honey is anti-inflammatory. Lemon being a detoxant. Lemon helping with detoxifying. So I don't know who needed that, but it's there. Ancestors, clarify the Five of Swords for us. What wisdom is the Five of Swords trying to bring us at this time? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Some of you all may be making changes in your health in terms of your patterns, how it is you treat yourself daily. And in order to do those things, it may make you less available for other people, right? So, for example, if you need to get up and go to the gym in the morning, you may not be able to do carpool anymore. If you need to take, if you need to start spending money on a trainer or a nutritionist, it may mean that you can't loan people money the same way anymore. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. Do what you need to do for your health, even if it means that you have to take away from other people. Because here's the thing. It's not like the people who are expecting these things of you are children. Because none of the cards here are, there's one that could be about children, but not directly, and I'll get to it in a second. Everybody's grown. And I think that some of us this week are going to understand in a concrete way, like, oh, this is why I haven't been able to do that thing that I know I need to do for my physical and mental health, that I haven't been doing because I'm overextending in these other areas, or I'm not taking enough time for myself. The very first card is the Queen of Pentacles. She takes amazing care of herself. Amazing care of herself. She takes good care of her body. She eats the best foods. She's buying organic. That's why honey came up. You know what I mean? Like she's making sure that she's taking good care of her body, right? And yes, she's going to take care of her children. That's why she's the card of the working mother. Yes, she's going to take care of her husband, but it starts with her. And that's also a huge part of what brings her a lot of favor in her life. She takes such good care of herself that it spills over into the other people around her. So y'all got to really get on your Queen of Pentacles energy this week. Look at the way that you're feeding yourself. Look at the ways that you're moving your body. Are you moving your body enough? Are you hydrating? If not, prioritize those things. And yes, you can do it in a way where the people who are most immediately in your life can come with you, but you got to start with you first, right? Hermit card. I think some of us are so out of touch with our bodies that we don't even really know how to do the Queen of Pentacles work. And that's why the Hermit is coming up. Hermit comes up when there's too much around us in life that has us distracted or busy, and we need to pause and get back in alignment with ourselves, right? Some of you guys have been feeling this Queen of Pentacles pull for a while, but you don't even know where to start. And that's why the Hermit is here. Pause, figure out what your needs are. It could be as simple as you need to drink more water, right? It could be as simple as you need to sleep more, but you don't even have the awareness of what your body needs. So pause long enough to get back in attunement with your personal spirit so that you can even hear the call of what your body needs and wants from you, okay? Now, this is where I was saying earlier that people might not be happy about that shit. Five of Swords. A part of the reason why some of us have not been taking good care of ourselves is because we've been literally victimizing ourselves. We've been gaslit into burning the wick at both ends for other people's gain, right? Five of Swords is a card of somebody walking away with all your swords, walking away with all your mental capacity, draining you, right? In Millennial Tarot, this is literally called the card of gaslighting, right? Five of Swords is about, it's an opportunity to reevaluate. And it's honest with you. It's like, yeah, you got fucked over. You're being fucked over, but what are you going to do about it? Like, what strategy are you going to switch up and lean into now so that somebody's not always taking from you? What are you going to, you may have lost the battle, but what's going to help you win the war? You know, you may be dealing with headaches and migraines now, but what are you going to switch in your behavior in this moment so that it doesn't turn to nervous issues long term, right? So you may have gained, 15 pounds that you didn't want to pick up this year, but what are you going to do in terms of changing your habits so that not only you can release those 15 pounds, but that the 15 don't turn to 50, right? That's an important conversation along with this Hermit card to really have with yourself while this Five of Swords is here. For a lot of you all, it's increasing your physical activity, 8 of Wands, right? Being in movement. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. It's as simple as you moving your body more and being more active, right? Some of you guys keep saying, I'm going to take that dance class. I'm going to take the Pilates class. I'm going to enroll in kickboxing. And you've been saying it for 6 months. 8 of Wands is coming up to say, no, do that shit. Be in motion. Go after it, right? And again, the 3 of Wands is also confirming that. Take the initial steps and be comfortable with taking them by yourself. Some of you guys don't want to make changes because you don't want to do it by yourself, right? I had a friend that was like that in the past. Like every time she would want to go on a diet, she would always say, we're going on a diet. And I'm like, bitch, no, don't put me on no fucking diet. I didn't ask you. If you want to be over there eating bulgur and cucumbers and shit, then that's your business. But don't, you know what I mean? You have to take this step on your own, right? And that's the message. Part of what has gotten you victimized or in this position where you've become lackadaisical with your health is because you don't want to do things by yourself. And some of the things that you're doing that are causing a drain on your health aren't draining the other people around you, right? Some of you guys who are in a relationship, I've learned this. My person can sit there and eat 3 or 4 hot dogs like it's nothing, and the nigga still got a 6-pack. I look at a hot dog too long and I gain 3 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't do the shit as the other people around you. So yeah, it may irritate them that you're not doing it along with them, but if it's in the best interest of your health, go ahead and do what's in the best interest of your health. Again, 5 of Wands, petty disputes and arguments. In addition to you not standing up for yourself or being gaslit into letting certain things go, 5 of Wands, a lot of your time is wasted on distractions. A lot of that time that you spend scrolling on TikTok, you could have taken a walk through your neighborhood. Some of that time you spent over the weekend sitting on the couch watching Netflix, calling that self-care. You could have gone ahead and taken that Pilates class you fantasize about. What is happening in terms of your distractions that are making it hard for you to take care of yourself? And then you're sitting there wondering why all this time has passed. You're distracted with petty shit. And a lot of it is just entertainment. It's entertainment that's draining you, right? Another thing is some of y'all don't want to go to the gym because you don't know what you're doing, or you don't want to go to the dance class because you don't have rhythm. That's me. I just sat here and attacked myself. That cannot dance worth a damn, right? But do it anyway. Do it scared. It will have benefit for you. And then once you start doing it and you get over the fear, you will be deeply grateful. I remember when I first started yoga classes, I'm going to be real, I'm going to be vulnerable. I didn't want to be the big girl in yoga class. I really didn't. I didn't want people to be weird to me. I don't like people touching me. So I didn't want people to come over and correct my posture and shit. But I got over it and I went and I love yoga. And it's been a part of my practice for the last 7 years. Okay. Once you can get over your fear of doing the things that you see yourself doing as a Queen of Pentacles, you'll be deeply grateful. But spending time in stagnation and avoiding it is not helping you. It's just really, really keeping you stuck. Another thing that I want to point out too, and what's really clear in this reading, between the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and now this 4 of Cups, there are way too many of you guys who sit around thinking and replaying negative emotions. And if you can turn that into physical activity, that's going to help your health tremendously, right? If you are sitting in your house and you feel yourself getting sad, just go take a walk, right? Go walk by the river. If you are blessed to have water by you, go walk by the river, right? Go do some stretches. But there's way too much time sitting and dwelling and not enough time in physical activity. And that's become really, really clear in this reading, okay? So that is the health and wellness reading. We are now at the end of the general reading. That took me well over an hour. I was long-winded today. I apologize for that. But if people have questions that they would like me to answer, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'm more than happy to start taking questions from the audience now. As you are typing out your questions, I will update you guys on the things that I'm working on. Oh Lord, help me, Jesus. Why am I struggling with words? Tuesday at midnight, the sale on the shadow work consultations will expire. So that means that you have 48 hours left to book your shadow work consultation if you have wanted to get one and you have not booked already. Right now, they're at the sale price of $80. They will go back up to their original price of $125 October 1st. So if you want to get your shadow work consultation at a $45 discount, you have 48 hours left to do so, okay? Rich Spirit Prosperity Ritual is going to be happening November 10th through the 13th. So if you want to join us for this final round of 2025, click the link that's in the description to join the WhatsApp group and learn more information. We are also doing Grace and Gratitude. Again, that is our 21-day prayer program led by me and Hunsi Aja. It's $15 for 21 days of prayer support. You get a customized daily prayer along with a customized daily journal prompt. And Hunsi Aja will be giving us every Sunday of every week of the program, she will be giving us a live sound healing session. For $15, I think that's a deal. So if you want to join us for that, make sure you sign up. The deadline is October 31st. We start November 1st. The October monthly readings will be up on my Patreon tomorrow night. So if you want to take advantage of those readings, go ahead and join my Patreon. I have tiers as low as $5. And my highest tier is $40. That comes with access to a back catalog of Patreon exclusive classes, all of my readings, as well as you get a $10-minute reading monthly. What some people do who subscribe to the Patreon is that they'll stack their readings over a couple of months. So like I have some of the people at the $40 tier who will save them up, and then every 3 months they just get a 30-minute reading. You can do it however you want to, but it also gives you access to everything. So every exclusive class, every exclusive reading. Sometimes I will come up with like little quick and dirty workings that I post only on Patreon. So definitely check that out and join us over there. I feel like there's one more thing that I'm forgetting. Oh, the tobacco class is on Tuesday, and that's a Patreon exclusive. But that's not it. There's something else. Grace and Gratitude. It'll come to me, but I'm blanking on it right now. When's the new honey course? Okay, it's not the sex honey course. I have to figure out because it was supposed to be a Charm School exclusive. Of course, y'all niggas want that honey course. It'll probably be towards the end, later October. I have not chosen the exact date. Once I have the exact date, I will let you all know. Because here's the thing. How do I say this? This is not going to be a $20 class. I'm going to be really honest with y'all, because my Charm School girls pay me to have Charm School classes. And so if I'm going to let you all into a Charm School class, you guys have to be willing to pay to be in the room. So this is not going to be when I'm doing like my $10 or $20 courses. It won't be more than $100. So don't think that. But it's not going to be a cheap class, and I want to make that clear to people. If you want this information, you're going to have to pay for it. And I want to make sure that I'm giving a price that is still accessible, but that also I don't feel like my Charm School girls are being cheated. So give me until the end of the week to not only pick the date, but to come up with a price, okay? Thank you for reminding me, Sanidra. I love you down. Yes, I will do that before the night is over. Um, I was supposed to do that today, but I took Sunday off to have exploits related to our our Mars and Scorpio conversation. So I got distracted, but I will put it up before the night is over. Absolutely. I will absolutely do that. Because I was supposed to do it yesterday and I forgot. But I will definitely put that up. Let's see. I know some people have some questions. Do you recommend doing both simultaneously? Doing both what simultaneously, Adelaide? Can you let me know? Could I get a reading on the overall energy for me this week, please? I got you, Super Czar. I'm going to get to as many people as I can. I'm probably not going in order. If you wrote earlier and I haven't started with you, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get to you. Everybody be patient, okay? But Adelaide, tell me what you mean about both, and then I'll let you know, okay? Sisters, angels, ascended masters, spirits to walk with me, and elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Super Czar need to know about the week ahead? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. And again, you all, love offerings are not required, but go ahead and if you are in a space where you can give, even if it's small, send a love offering. My PayPal and my Cash App are both scrolling below. Okay? Prayer and personal alignment are going to be really important for you this week, mostly because it's not about manifestation. It's about you're going to be hit with negative waves of nostalgia, and your spirits don't want you to succumb to hyperfixation on your past, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you're doing some sort of working or if you're going to get downloads about a working that you need to do this week. Your spirits may be giving you a nudge around something to do. High Priestess, being about deep connection to your spiritual court, the personal spirits that give you wisdom and guidance. Two things coming up in this message. A, whatever the wisdom is they tell you about the working you need to do, don't run around and tell a whole bunch of people, because again, this is about you and them. But also B, your vibe will attract the vibration of the work. And if you're hyper focused on the past or what you've lost, if you are dealing with, it may be that that's part of the working you need to do. You may need to do some ORE work because you may be in a depressive state because you're thinking about the past a lot. And if you are hyper fixated on the past and, in a downtrodden spirit, it's going to negatively impact the working that you are doing, right? This is a week where you got to pay attention to your own personal habits. And it's not necessarily, even though this message is coming up through the Nine of Pentacles, you have to pay attention to your personal habits because there are certain things that you do to yourself to make yourself sad. Bear with me. That's why the High Priestess and the Five of Cups are here. It's like even when things are going good for you, there's a thought that can come up or you can hyperfixate on something that people say, and it can make you feel like your circumstances are worse than what they are. So Knight of Pentacles is coming up in this regard in terms of self-evaluation so that you can really, understand certain habits you engage in and figure out a way to release them, right? So that's what I'm seeing coming up with the energy for you this week, Super Czar. Okay. Rich spirit and grace and gratitude. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can do both at the same time. Sanidra, again, she did both last year and it helped her. With grace and gratitude is daily, but it's not designed to be super intensive or distracting, right? It's meant, here's the thing. The reason why we do grace and gratitude for 21 days is that it takes 21 days to either break or build a habit, right? And a lot of times it's sustained prayer. We want to do workings. We want to go and get a lamp. We want to do all this stuff. We want to run to the crossroads or the graveyard to see change. But sometimes it's just doing sustained prayer that can bring breakthrough for you, right? I believe that every person that did grace and gratitude along with rich spirit last year saw progress on what they were calling in with rich spirit quickly because of that 21-day intensive prayer. So I personally would recommend doing them together. I think it's a good idea to do them together. Okay? All right. And thank you for your feedback, Sanidra. I appreciate that tremendously. Let's see. Who else has questions? Don't have a lot of questions tonight. I think it's because I ran my mouth for so long. Okay, Sylvia. Sylvia says, while I was job searching for something better, my boss informed me that I would be receiving a raise in November. Is this a distraction? That is a great question. Let's see. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits to walk with me. Is the raise that Sylvia is receiving a distraction? Is this something that's meant to make her stop her job search? Should she continue her job search? If so, why? If not, why not? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. And Ami and ASMR, I will get to you after Sylvia. If there's anyone else that has a question, go ahead and put it in the comments. And I will get to you after Ami ASMR, okay? Free class. I have a free class on October 7th where I talk about dealing with the spirit of provocation. That's what I forgot to say. It is not a distraction. It's a blessing that you've earned, and it's a blessing meant to hold you over. You are very much in an Empress energy vibration right now. So people are going to want to give you things, whether it's a raise, whether it's, don't be surprised. And the spirit is saying 3 weeks. Don't be surprised if in the next 3 weeks, like people hit on you more out in public, right? You're just in an Empress energy and vibration right now. So people want to give you things. This is an abundance that you deserve and that it's coming to you naturally. 3 of Pentacles, I don't think you should stop your job search. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if, A, you probably got the raise because of somebody that really fucks with you in your workplace, but B, I wouldn't be surprised if you get your next job through word of mouth. But also I wouldn't be surprised if not only with the raise, you are encouraged to go after some sort of promotion, right? 6 of Wands is about hitting your milestones and the success of that, and also just people around you really wanting to see you hit your milestones. So I don't think that this is a distraction. I think it's just a reflection of the current vibration that you have in your life. But I also don't think that you should stop applying for jobs. It's okay for things to get sweet at your job while you're looking for other jobs. It's just the energy that you're in right now. Okay? Ami ASMR, I've been working out with my dad at the gym, but I'm dragging. Can Spirit tell me what's the best form of exercise or self-care for me? Okay, I got you. Absolutely got you. That's a great question. All right. After Ami ASMR, I'm going to do Sierra, and then I'm going to do La Balin. Okay. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me. Elevated ancestors. What is the best form of exercise and physical activity for Ami ASMR? What will help her in terms of staying motivated with her physical care regimen? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Oh my God, that is so great. Please, if you didn't already put that in the Rich Spirit chat, Ami ASMR, please do. Those testimonies are really helpful for the other people that are on the fence about doing the ritual. So please, I would love that update. I would absolutely love that update. Make sure that you put that in the Rich Spirit chat before the week is over. So I'm saying that you need to do something like yoga or Pilates. And here's the reason why. So look at this representation of the Justice card, right? Do you see how she's balancing literally on a sword, and then she's holding scales in her hands? There's a lot of stretching here, right? And yoga, and I know this is somebody that does yoga. I could do it more, but it is my favorite practice. You need something that's really going to stretch your body, as well as put you in a tune with your own personal energy and bring you inner peace and balance. Justice card being a card of balance, right? We also need something that is going to help you with emotional healing. And that's why we have the Knight of Cups here. The Eight of Swords, a huge part of the reason why you don't like the gym and why you're dragging is because you're afraid of hurting yourself. So I don't see you as a girly who like it needs to be lifting weights. You are not a CrossFit type of bitch. Like, those are not things that are in alignment with you. You need something that is going to strengthen you, absolutely, but that also gives you an opportunity to really have spiritual and personal breakthrough. So I would say yoga or Pilates for you. Ask your spirits about a dance class too, because I'm hearing that. It's not coming up in the cards, but that's what I'm seeing that works best for you. And that's why I always tell people, like, just because you don't want to go to the gym doesn't mean that you don't work out. You know what I mean? I hate the gym. It stink. It smell like niggas and balls all the time. Doesn't matter how clean or nice the gym is. Out here in Atlanta, I have not gone to a gym where there isn't somebody's nasty uncle sitting in the corner staring at all the bitches. Like, it's a weird environment for me. So for me, I would rather go walk the trails by the river. I would rather do yoga stretches in my home. I would rather take walks through my neighborhood. If I do go to the gym, I go to the gym in my complex, right? So just figure out what makes you comfortable, because you have to be comfortable in order to sustain it. All right. Sierra wants to know what spirit has to say about love, life, or business. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits to walk with me, validated ancestors. What wisdom does Sierra need at this time about her love, life, or business? What do her ancestors want her to know? What would they like to see her focus on at this time? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Ace of Pentacles fell out, but I want to see the spread to see what that means. So they're choosing to focus on love. And what I take from, so the spread is focused on love. Ace of Pentacles fell out. And it's interesting because I had a similar conversation with one of the spirits I worked with last week. And what I'm getting from this is that some of the same blockages, not blockages, but some of the same breakthrough, that's a better word, that you are being called to have or need to have when it comes to love are also going to create breakthrough for you with finances and with money. So I like that you asked about both at the same time. Very first card, the Empress. The more luxurious and the more sweet and tender you treat yourself, the more sweet and tender life will be with you, right? Really nurturing and working on your divine feminine, not in a superficial, I'm just going to wear pink and be a bad bitch kind of way, but in that deep, like, I'm nurturing my creativity. I have a good relationship with nature. I feel aligned with my heart chakra kind of way. It's going to easily attract love into your life. You also need to give yourself permission to explore and be adventurous with the spaces you hang out in, right? The Fool card, for the way I experience the Fool card in a love reading is that you have to explore in different spaces in order to get different results, right? So I would encourage you to start spending time, like your social time, in new environments and see what that opens up for you. But I would not be surprised if by, January at the latest, there isn't somebody that's courting you or that has shown attraction to you with this Knight of Cups, right? Being a romantic offer. So basically what I'm seeing here is that the more you nurture your feminine, the more you nurture your creativity and get aligned with your heart chakra, the more that you take risks by putting yourself in new social environments, the more likely you are to have somebody that is attracted to and interested in you. And then the Ace of Pentacles talks about, it could be the offer of a new love, absolutely, but I think that the more you do this work around your love life, the more that money and new streams of money and new offers will come to you as it relates to your business, okay? La Balin said, I've been enraged lately, which is not like me at all. Is there any way that I can harness this energy for good, increase power that I'm not picking up? I love that question. I love alchemizing your anger is one of the most powerful things we can do as a priestess. So I'm going to do your question, La Balin, and then I'm going to wrap up with JL after, okay? Oh, okay. I'm going to wrap up with Berserker Magica after JL, and then I'm going to get off. I just saw that. Okay. Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits walk with me. My elevated ancestors. What wisdom does La Balin need about harnessing her anger, turning it into a productive energy? What wisdom does she need at this time so that she's not just experiencing her anger as an energy that drains, but rather as an energy that aligns her with power and action? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'm hearing the word justice, so we'll see what cards come up. Spirit, why is justice? Why is justice coming up? So they want you to know two things. The things that have you enraged, you should rightfully be enraged about, because it's like niggas aren't seeing who you are. I don't know. I'm sorry I'm saying it that way, but it's like, it's justifiable rage when people purposely misrecognize us, right? People are not seeing you as the strong person that you are. And so that feeling of misrecognition, it's enraging, right? And so they're saying that in those moments where you feel enraged, it's because something is happening where people are trying you or playing in your face about who you are. So I think a huge part of what you need to do is to acknowledge that, right? And when I say acknowledge that, I don't mean that you got to cuss people out and be like, don't you fucking know who I am, because that doesn't help. That's arrogance, right? But for you, it's more about, rather than letting the rage just, and I know you be feeling it because now I'm stuttering and shit and I'm clear sentient. Rather than letting the rage just root in you, nurture the parts of yourself that you know are being misrecognized, right? So I said earlier tonight that when people play with me, I don't argue with them, right? So rather than you getting angry about it, nurture those aspects of you that people are playing about, and just stand further in your power, stand further in the knowing of who you are. It's also because there are some things that you know you should be doing and you're not doing, respectfully. So it's not showing up as stagnation the way that it would. Why do I still have my earbud on? Sorry. I've just sat here this whole time and it started playing music out of nowhere and I was like, what the fuck is that? Okay. Sorry. Part of the reason why you're enraged is because you're not in movement. And I don't mean physical movement, but again, the Knight of Wands is somebody who's not the Knight of Wands. King of Wands is somebody who's always going after what they want. And there are steps you need to be taking towards a specific goal, and you're not doing that shit. And so it's showing up as you being enraged or you being frustrated. But if you just put that energy into going after what you need to go after and taking those initial steps, then a lot of that rage will be put into action and you won't even really feel it like that, right? But what's happening is that because you're not going after those things, it's leading to you having petty disputes and arguments or being distracted by petty shit, right? Because again, when you're going after who you are, or when you're moving in who you are and going after what you want, you won't even hear half the shit that's making you upset, right? I had this experience earlier this week. I've, not to brag, not to toot my own horn, but beep, beep. I'm really in my bag right now in terms of creativity, right? And in terms of ideas and things that I know I want to release and launch over the next few months. And whereas when I was in a more stagnant energy, when people would try to start petty fights with me, I would internalize it and go back and forth with them. Somebody started trying to have a fight with me over some dumb shit earlier this week. And I just, as soon as it happened, I was like, I don't got to do this. Deuces. And block the fuck out of them, right? Your rage isn't necessarily going to go away, but you feel it more because you are in action around your passions. If you were putting more action into your passions, you low-key wouldn't even have time to notice the stuff that's bothering you or pissing you off. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Let me know if that resonated with you or not. We're going to do JL, then we're going to do Berserker Magica, and then we will wrap up for the night. Okay, my website has finally launched, gone live. I'm looking for legal documents for my business. I've had meetings with 2 lawyers. Which one should I go with, Suzanne or Tosh? Okay, let's see. I got you, JL. Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits walk with me, elevated ancestors. And so I'm going to do a 4-card for you since you're asking me to make a choice between 2 people. Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits walk with me. Who should JL lean into? Should it be Suzanne or should it be Tosh? Please allow us to see the benefits and the deficits of each person so that she can make the best decision. And you with some shared is deeply appreciated. You are very welcome, La Berlin. You need to go with Tosh. And the reason why I say go with Tosh is because they have a much more optimistic and hopeful outlook. Suzanne is very regimented and she's very thorough in that Virgo kind of way where she can be very critical and almost like a stickler. But there's going to come a point where it feels like that critical eye isn't very helpful. And if anything, it's just keeping you stuck and it's keeping you from moving forward or seeing movement. Whereas Tosh is the literal star card, is literally creative, is literally just really abundant and optimistic. So they have a vision that makes it easier for you to see what's next in order to move forward, even if that vision requires you to let go of some things that may feel painful in the moment. It's still going to bring you into a transition and to a place where you enter a new chapter with your business. So I would say go with Tosh. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do Berserker Magica, and then I'm going to wrap up for the night. And I'm going to go and listen, Spirit is speaking through you. You have described their personalities perfectly. The cards don't lie. I'm just a vessel. I appreciate when y'all tell me I'm dope and stuff because it makes me happy and it makes me blush a little bit. But those are your spirits giving me that message, baby. That's what they want you to know. Okay. So Berserker Magica. I have two men I'm interested in, but I'm wondering if either of them are actually worth my time as partners. What does Spirit have to say? I got you. I don't know if you watched my Scorpio or Mars and Scorpio reading from Happy Hour on Friday last week, Berserker Magica, but you should watch it. That's all I'll say. But let's see what comes up. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits to walk with me. What can you tell us about the two men that Berserker Magica is currently interested in? Are these two people good options for them? If so, what do they need to know in order to make a decision moving forward? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I love this for them too. So this is probably the most unhelpful advice ever. They are both good options. They're both good options. It's about you weighing them out and seeing who's most in alignment with you, right? We have the Ace of Wands, which is new attractions. So these are the two people you're interested in, but don't be surprised if at least one more person pops up in the next 90 days that you have interest in as well. You're just very much right now in an energy of new attractions and calling in new passions, not just romantically, but in life in general, right? And then we have the Hangman, which is a card of observation. So Spirit is saying, take your time, observe them, give yourself the time to just kind of learn a little bit more about them. You're still seeing a lot about them and learning things. So be comfortable with that instead of feeling like you got to rush to answer. But we have the Sun card, which is positivity, vitality. It's I'm baby. It's attraction. Again, there's going to be more attractions coming to you. So that's another part of the reason why we have the Hangman here. It's like these are the two you're interested in right now. But when this other person comes along, right, I don't think you are going to really want to feel tied down because you are going to want to explore that, right? Right now is a time of you just being really spoiled by attraction and love, if that makes sense. So I hope that was helpful. I know you were asking about it either or, but Spirit is saying both and. All right. Love you all. Thank you guys so much. I know I ran my mouth a little longer than normal tonight. So thank you for sticking around and staying with that. After last week's experience, I'm thinking about, I know I usually go live twice a week. I'm thinking about increasing it to 3. In addition to Happy Hour, I would love to do like an Astro Hour where once weekly I go over the astrology of the week and then offer readings based on that. I'm still on the fence. If that sounds good, if it sounds like something you guys would be interested in, please make sure to leave a comment on this video and let me know. I feel like I have the bandwidth to do it. And again, after the Friday reading where we talked for an hour and a half just about astrology straight up, it felt really good. And I'm interested in doing it, but I don't want to do it if people aren't going to show up. So let me know. Y'all have an amazing week. I'll see y'all on Thursday. And until then, y'all know where to find me, okay? Take care. Good night.